Hi, good morning. We have a lot of really good information to cover today for Wifey Wednesday me time. I picked a topic that's very close to my heart. It's about when you have someone who's a controlling personality. They always end up in relationship with someone who is a people pleaser, or in other words, passive aggressive personality. And we're going to talk about what does that look like, how did it develop, and what can we do to stop it. So there's going to be a lot of really great information today. I want to say thank you for taking the time to be here with me this morning. I appreciate that you're here. Hi, good morning. Thank you for joining me. And I promise that the information I'm going to deliver today is really intense. You're probably going to want a notebook because you're probably going to want to take notes because I have so much really good stuff to bring to you. So I work with women who struggle between knowing that they need to surrender and being in control of their lives, and it's not working out for them. And I show them how to let go of that, surrender into their true, beautifully authentic selves so that they can create light inside of themselves and create light out into the world around them. And so I've been doing these Facebook Lives in the Beautifully Authentic Facebook Live group, which is where we are right now. And if you want to share this video, you can share it on the Beautifully Authentic YouTube channel. You can share it with your friends if they want to be here live with me. Just ask them if they'd like to join the group, but you can send any video that you've seen. I've uploaded all of them to the Beautifully Authentic YouTube channel, so you can subscribe there also to get the new videos as they're coming up. So this is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So we have this situation where one person is shutting down and the other one feels abandoned. So when this one shuts down, this one goes, ah, I need you, ah, and starts like grabbing like this, which makes this one like shut down and go further and further away. So this one starts yelling and shouting and throwing things and like having a whole, becoming very chaotic, while this one stays, good morning, everyone. Well, this one stays very like tight and restricted, and this one's going like, oh my gosh, I really don't want to be part of this with you. You're scaring the crap out of me. It actually a lot of times ends up going in this direction. You've had this so many, yeah, I've had this so many times in my relationships in both sides too. So let's look at what causes it, and then let's look at how do we make it go away. So if you know other people who are dealing with this, invite them in. You can hit the invite friends button, invite your friends in, take a moment to invite them to join us, have a little me time today. And I really appreciate you for being here. Let's show you how to get into that place where you have a relationship where you get to stay open and you get to stay connected and you get to keep the vibe going all the time. Okay, so I am doing this on the fly with you guys today because I've really been enjoying your comments, which I keep peeking at. So if you have anything that you want to comment about, or if you have any questions, I did not write this one all out. It's just going to be the information that I know coming right out of my head. So if I say something that's unclear, go ahead and ask questions. Okay, we're going to start with what's a power struggle. So what's a power struggle? And we're going to move into how does that form a revenge cycle? And then we're going to show how these play out in your relationship as an adult. And then we're going to also look at how both of the partners in the relationship are expecting the other one to do something differently. So if you're looking at your spouse right now or your partner and you're thinking, you're such an idiot, I wish you would do things differently, how come you're not doing the work, I'm doing all of the work, you get to stop that because that's not helping at all. Okay, so let's talk about power struggle. So this is a really, really quick overview of some of the information from the parenting course that I used to teach. And I'm going to go through it quick. And there's a lot more to this. So if you want more information on this, let me know. We can do more information on this. But really quickly, this is what it looks like. Power struggle is, imagine I say to you, you want to arm wrestle? What's the first thing that you think of when I say, you want to arm wrestle? What do you guys think? What do you experience inside of yourself? You can put it in the comments. What do you guys think when I say, want to arm wrestle? Want to fight with me a little bit, right? So you guys aren't saying anything yet. So when you want to arm wrestle or you want to fight with somebody a little, it's fun. It's so much fun to arm wrestle with somebody, right? And you're like, you get there and you put your arm out and they like grab the arm, right? And you lock hands and you're like, ah! And like this part is so much fun, right? It's like, because nobody's winning, right? Until it starts going like this and somebody starts winning, the other person goes, and starts pushing back with all of their might. Now, depending on what your personality is, you're either the fighter, and you want to crush it, or you go, oh God, I'm losing. You know what, I give up. I'm not going to play this game anymore. So here's the thing. What this looks like in relationship is, I say, hey, want to play a fun game? It's called arm wrestling, but really that's not what it's called. It's called like, and my favorite example of this is with children and their mothers, right? So it's like, Mommy, I want a cookie before dinner. And Mommy goes, you can't have a cookie before dinner. And the baby goes, but I want a cookie. Well, you can't have a cookie. Well, I want a cookie. Okay, that's the arm wrestling, right? That's like, we're having fun at this point. And then Mommy becomes overpowering and overbearing, which is what she does. And she says, you can't have a cookie, go to your room, right? Now, the passive or the permissive parent would say, okay, sure, dear, have a cookie. That's a whole other, we're not talking about that today. Okay, we talked about that on Monday. So if you want to know about that stuff, watch Monday's video. But today we're talking about the mother who says, go to your room, you can't have a cookie. Because somebody wins in the power struggle. And so the child goes to her room, and what does she do in her room? Do you guys remember this? I was off the victim side. I felt so helpless. I felt so guilty in the relationship when I shut down and just wanted space. Right, yes, absolutely. So right, okay, so this is what happens. So the little girl goes to her room because she didn't get a cookie, and what is she in that room thinking about doing, right? Like the first time, you know, maybe she's just thinking I'm a bad girl or something. Like some of us think, oh, I'm a bad girl, and then we become people pleasers, and we want to make Mommy happy next time. Others of us go, I'm gonna get that cookie, or how can I get that cookie without her knowing? Or I'm gonna get her back. She hurt me and I'm gonna hurt her now. So we go from, you do power struggle enough times, if you lose power struggle enough times, you end up going into what I call the revenge cycle, okay? So power struggle moves into revenge cycle. So when you're in the revenge cycle, this is where passive aggressive behavior comes from, because you know you're never gonna win with the controller. So you just don't even go into the power struggle with the controller because you know you're not going to win. So how do you win without actually going into the power struggle? Hi Reagan, I saw your hearts and stuff. Hi. Angry and upset. Yeah, so I'm guessing you're saying angry and upset when you didn't get the cookie, right? Right, Michelle? So if you don't get the cookie, you're angry and upset, and then you're plotting your revenge, and you're plotting, how do I get the cookie without my mom finding out, right? So it's like you still want to win, but you don't want to engage in the power struggle. So there are some of us who actually really like engaging in the power struggle. So you get to ask yourself, do I like engaging in the power struggle? Am I the one who really likes to fight? Or you get to ask yourself, am I the one who always loses the power struggle, and so I forget about it? I'm not doing the power struggle. I hate the power struggle. I hate watching people fight. I won't ever be part of a fight. I'm not doing that. And instead you go under the table and try to figure out how to get what you want without directly confronting anyone. You say things like, yeah, sure I'll clean my room, Mom. But then you never clean your room. But you say, sure, Mom, because you're trying to make her happy, right? You're like people pleasing, but you're not actually going to do it. Or you say, sure, Mom, I'll clean my room because you know it's going to make her happy, but then you go like this to yourself because you didn't want to clean your room, right? You guys getting what I'm saying? Is this all making sense? Yes. You guys are liking this? Is everybody clear? Okay, so how does this play out in your relationship with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whoever you're dating? In your relationship, I'm going to call it with your spouse. Okay, so what it looks like is, yes, we're getting this. So if I'm in a relationship with my spouse, it looks like, for a lot of us, especially for women, what it looks like is, I'm trying to make him happy because I've learned how to be this people pleaser. And women, my girlfriend calls it, there's a man on the premises. If there's a man, it's almost like if there's any, if there's a cat on the premises or whatever, like, if there's a baby on the premises, like our focus is on the baby and on the Facebook Live video that we're doing. It's on, oh, the laundry's done and I need to do the dishes and there's a kitty cat and you guys are the Facebook Live, right? Our attention is everywhere at once. That's just what it means to be a woman. So if our man is on the premises, we're going, how do I make him happy? What do I do? How do I please him first? It's DNA. You really can't avoid it. The trouble is when you've had this lifestyle where you either learn to be super controlling and get into power struggle all the time, or you said, screw this, I'm not getting into power struggle. I'm going to just do what I want without people knowing and I'm going to go under the table. That causes the power struggle person to just have an absolute fit. Okay, am I making sense? You guys are still with me, right? So if my man, it's so ridiculous sometimes. Like, here's a perfect example. It's so ridiculous. I have always wanted to be like a super healthy vegan vegetarian kind of person, okay? I want to eat. For me, it's about I want to eat alkaline and I don't want any bacteria or fungus living in my body. I want that crap gone, okay? And I know that if I eat a whole food plant-based diet and I get rid of dairy and sugar and bread and alcohol and cheese and all that stuff, I'm going to have a really healthy body. I know that. But I love coffee and I love sugar and I love brownies and donuts. And if you're my friend, you know about this battle that I have all the time. And then you meet Mike, who has been eating clean for 4 years. So he's already in the habit of this. And I'm a woman. I want to make my man happy. So guess what I buy? Like freaking Sprouts and organic greens. And then we make this agreement that we're only going to bring organic food into the house, which I agreed to because you know what? I wanted to agree to it. But I guess there's this little teeny part of me that really just wants a freaking brownie also. So I have this internal battle. Are you guys relating to this, what I'm talking about right now? So it's like, okay, so do I do what Mike wants, which is really what Heather wants? Or do I, right, funny, right? Or do I do what I want, which is eat brownies, which is really not what I want, but screw Mike, right? Like it's this crazy thing that we do. Okay, I'm on a little bit of a tangent, but this is what it ends up looking like in relationship, okay? And then the craziest part is then I go, you know what, Mike? I don't want to eat vegan anymore. You made me do this. I'm not doing that because I'm a little bit more aware, but when we're not aware, that's what ends up happening. And we're like, I don't even know how I ended up having this vegan lifestyle. I don't even want to be a vegan. But yeah, you actually did. You wanted to be a vegan, and your man is actually trying to take care of you and provide for you, but you want a brownie and you don't want to be told what to do. And so that's where this whole like control and passive aggressive thing comes from. I'm sneaking brownies because I don't want the controller to be like, are you eating brownies? Right? That's not actually happening. But you guys, I'm using it as an example. If I want a brownie, I'm going to be like, I'm eating brownie. And then he's like, are you sure you want the brownie? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I want the brownie. And there's like no charge because I've learned that I get to do what I want to do. And I've learned that Mike is just trying to take care of me. And I love him for that. And I get to appreciate that. That's also another training. All right. So you guys are understanding how power struggle works. You're understanding how revenge cycle works. You're understanding how it plays out in a relationship. And then you're understanding also how you end up blaming the other partner. Yes? Everybody's getting all of that. Does anybody have any questions about that? Yes, yes, we like it. And Dagmar, I hear my father's voice. Yes, right? Oh boy. That's a whole other training. We should do that one. Let's put that on the list. Like, let's do how I turn my husband into my father. Like, doesn't everybody want that one? Because, oh man, that's imago. We could do a whole training on imago and how we're looking for our dad and our unresolved childhood stuff, and we're looking for it. We end up picking our, who's laughing? Who thinks that's funny? That is so true. We do that. That is what we do because we're looking to resolve our unfinished business from childhood. And we are going to do that by attracting a man who's just like our father, our mother, our grandfather, whoever our primary. That is another training. Y'all, I'm on a tangent again, but thank you for being here with me. Okay, so what do we do to change it, right? This is what you really came here for today. You want to know how to change it. I do, but I try to find men that are nothing like my father. Right, but that's not true. You're going to end up with your father. It's just what happens. I had this with my mom, drink more water. She never did, and immediately think, I don't want to drink more effing water. Oh my God, I did the same thing with money, right? So they were like, you need to be rich, and rich people have value. And I was like, screw you guys. I'm not going to be rich. I'll show you I have value without money. Like, yeah, that worked great for me because I had no money and then I couldn't take care of it. That was so stupid. That's like shooting yourself in the foot. We call that, so that's revenge, and we call it taking the rat poison to kill the rat. It doesn't work, y'all. It doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, Michelle's angry about that one. The angry face, I gotta tell you guys, when I get the angry face, I'm like, oh, what did I do? The people pleaser in me goes crazy. And I'm like, oh no, she doesn't love me anymore. So funny, that little angry face. Like, I wish Facebook had never come up with that. Right? Because I'm such a people pleaser. Okay, so what have I got here for notes? Okay. What are we going to do to change all of this? Oh, it was an accident. Isn't that funny? Reagan's giving me angry faces. That's awesome. Thank you, Reagan. Did I tell you guys that I have been working so hard, not working so hard, but I have made this decision that I'm going to be present in every moment, and it doesn't matter how painful it is. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to be brave. This is what vulnerability is all about. We're going to do more posts about vulnerability because it's just my favorite topic right now. And so I actually said to my kids this week, I sat them down and I said, listen, this is important what I'm going to tell you. And I made it like really, really serious. And I said, there's been something that's been going on for a very long time and I'm going to change it. I'm going to give you guys permission to do something, but it's only temporary permission, but it's something you've always wanted to do. And they were like on the edge of their seats, you know, what the heck is she going to say? And I said, I give you permission to scare me. And they like jumped out of their chairs cheering because they know, like, if you scare me, I will literally punch you in the throat. Like, it's not allowed. But I've decided I want to experience like these emotional upheavals, and I want to give myself the opportunity to do something differently, to practice being open instead of being restricted. So this has nothing to do with this training too. I'm all over the place with you guys today. So let me get back on track. What are we going to do to change this? You have the controller, and then you have the passive aggressive person who's like trying to sneak around under the table because they don't want the controller to be like, what are you doing? What did you do last night? How many drinks did you have? Did you eat a brownie? Or whatever the controller is doing. Okay, so, and like Dagmar says, like I've been on both sides of this coin also. So I have been the controller in a very big way, and then I've also been the like passive aggressive people pleaser. So let's get into all of this. So number one, take responsibility for your own behavior. I have a training on the victim triangle that I do with my coaching clients where we talk about taking responsibility for yourself, not being a victim anymore. It is a lot of information. We're not covering it today, but it talks all about how do we become responsible for our own behavior. Basically what it means is you get to get real with yourself about what is actually going on. So I really want a brownie and I really want to be a vegan. That's the truth. That's me being responsible for what I want. It has nothing to do with if Mike wants me to be a vegan or if Mike wants to be a vegan or if Mike wants a brownie, frankly. It has everything to do with, do I want a brownie or do I want to be a vegan? And I get to be responsible and accountable to myself. And if Mike says, honey, are you sure you want that brownie? He's just being loving. He's not trying to be controlling, okay? Number two, get in integrity with yourself. Okay, what does this mean? It means that my thoughts, my feelings, my behavior, and I'm missing one. My feelings, my thoughts, my behavior, what am I missing, guys? And there's another one, are all in alignment. So like what I say, what I say. So what I say, what I think, what I do, what I feel are all in alignment. So, you know, I feel that I want to be a vegan because I want to feel healthy. Yes, I think I want to be a vegan because I've learned all this information that tells me that it's really important to be alkaline in order to get rid of disease in my body. I take action to eat vegan foods because I think that's important to me. I say, and I talk about, I say, I think, I feel, right. And I talk about, I'm going to eat vegan, and then I actually do it. So that's being in integrity with yourself. Are you guys getting this? Are you loving this? I want to know if this is, yeah, this is good stuff, right? So, you know, and you can ask yourself, where am I out of integrity with myself? Where am I saying I want to be vegan and then I'm eating brownies? and then I'm blaming my partner for making brownies. Like, cut that crap out, right? Okay, so let's talk about controlling and passive aggressive. We're going to start with being the controlling person. Okay, so the controlling person, which I can relate to because I've been the controlling person, is I need to have everything perfect all the time, and it needs to go my way, and it needs to be done my way, and it needs to be done on my schedule. And this is the controlling personality happens because underneath there's so much insecurity. I feel so insecure about how is driving my life car. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I hate how the comments come in later because I never know what you guys are referring to. So where was I? You're a controlling person because you want everything. Right, so underneath you've got this like insecurity going on. I don't feel good enough, I'm not lovable, and so on top of it you operate like perfection. Now perfection is different from excellence, right? I can be my true authentic self. I can wake up in the morning, I can meditate, I can journal, I can take a bath, I can roll around on my rollerblades, I can drink my green smoothie, and that's excellence. It doesn't mean I'm being perfect, you know, it's being in integrity. My thoughts and my feelings and my words and my behaviors are all in alignment. So that's different than being controlling. Controlling would be, you know what? I can't do anything other than drink this green juice because then I'll be a bad person, right? Like letting go of the control means like letting go of all of that super high standards that we have for ourselves. You know, you can have high standards of excellence and you can live into excellence without needing to be perfect. The perfection is that need to prove to yourself that that you're worthy. And what's really interesting here, as I get into the passive aggressive person, it's the same thing. So the passive aggressive person is doing people pleasing. They're trying to make you happy on top, while underneath they're trying to do what they want to do because they don't think that they can say to you, the controller, hey, I want a brownie, even though I told you I want to eat like a vegan. And so the passive aggressive person just like, this is the one who's being the big victim and they're just giving up control. And they're like, I don't know, I can't do it, you know? And a lot of times what happens when you go, I don't know, I can't do it, the controller takes over and does it for you, which the passive aggressive person is like, whew, I didn't have to do that. But then they get all pissed off and mad that you did it, and then they hold all this resentment, okay? Am I being clear, you guys? Is this all clear? So the people pleasing that the passive aggressive person doing is also a need for approval, because if I actually do what I want to do and you tell me no, I'm too afraid of my relationship with you to do what I want to do. It's proving that I have value and proving that I have worth. The difference is the passive aggressive person is doing this like under the table activity. It's not so like in your face. And so the controller comes across being much more persecuting and attacking, and the passive aggressive one comes off being more of the victim. So how do we stop doing this? We take responsibility for our own behavior. And the second and most important thing is, y'all, self-esteem and self-worth. Because if I'm in integrity with myself, right? So if I'm in integrity with myself and I have self-esteem and self-worth and I want a freaking brownie, but I say I'm a vegan, that's between me, and it doesn't matter to me at all what you think. The moment that I'm not okay with having a brownie because I say I'm a vegan and you point it out to me, now you're an asshole. But really, it makes no sense. I'm the asshole. I'm the one who wants to eat a brownie and be a vegan. Is it making sense? But God forbid somebody else tell you you ate a brownie. Right, it's funny. You think it's funny until you're in it. And then you're like, I hate you because you told me I can't have a brownie. I can't have a brownie because of you. You know, it's such a ridiculous example, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right? I mean, this is a real life example for me. If I'm not okay with that brownie and Mike says, why are you having a brownie? All I hear is, You're a bad girl. You're a terrible person. You don't say what you don't do what you say you're going to do. You're out of integrity. Do you even care about yourself? Do you care about me? You're breaking our agreement. You're breaking the, I mean, my brain goes crazy, right? But none of that is true, because inside of me, if I want a brownie, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a brownie. So when he says, babe, are you sure you want a brownie? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I want a brownie. Like, it's not a problem. It has nothing at all to do with Mike. Are you guys getting I struggle with something like that. Ooh, I'm on the edge now, Valerie. I think you hit the enter bar too quickly, but now I want to know what you want to know. So we're getting into how to make sense of it. So if I want to eat healthy then. Right, so it's about you being in integrity with you. It's about your own value and your own self-worth and you being responsible for you, right? And that's what we've been talking about this whole time. Take responsibility for your own behavior, get in integrity with yourself, and you know, you get to do what you want to do with your life. And you know, like my biggest trigger is my dad, right? And so sometimes mess up and get a brownie. What do I do with that? I beat myself up. Yes, Reagan's right. Follow the good feeling. If it feels good to eat a brownie, eat a brownie. You know, and that's the perfectionism that I was talking about, and that's not excellence. So excellence is, I want to live a vegan life and I want to do everything it takes to live a vegan life because I have so many reasons for wanting to be a vegan. I am mad about killing baby, you know, chickens. I'm mad about the way they treat the adult chickens. I'm mad about what it's doing to the environment. I want an alkaline body. I don't like the way I feel when I eat sugar and bread. I mean, there's like a million reasons why, right? And do you know how yummy it is to eat a brownie? Like, it's so yummy. So I get to, and the way that I do it is through inner child work, and I reparent my inner child. And I mean, this is some of the stuff that we talked about on Monday also with permissive parenting, and I'm going to get into it again on next Monday when I talk about autocratic parenting. Sometimes you become a big F you to your parent who told you you can't have a brownie, and you're acting out of that. And so I personally believe that it's the inner child work for me that has made all of the difference in the world for whether or not I'm going to decide that I'm going to eat that brownie or not. I get to be the loving parent, and I get to make conscious choices that are made out of love, not made out of the need to be perfect and the need to be right and the need to be in control, but instead out of love for the relationship that I have with myself, my own self-love, which of course, you know, it always with this beautifully authentic, the whole reason I started this coaching program, everything comes back to self-love. When I have a good, healthy, strong relationship with myself, I fall into integrity. You cannot help it, which is why all my clients have all these amazing results. Because when you become in integrity with yourself, when you do what you say, what you feel, what you think, you can't help but live in excellence. You can't help it. It's like, for a little while, it feels like the train is going uphill and it feels like a lot of work, and then suddenly you're like just cruising along, or you're even going downhill. Like, it gets easier and easier and easier with the more practice. Okay, you know, there are vegan brownies. For me, it's not the vegan brownie, it's the whole food plant-based diet. Like, you can't make me a brownie out of sprouts. I mean, you probably could make a brownie out of like dates and sprouts and cacao, but that's not what I'm after. You know, I'm after the high. I'm after the squishing my feelings that happens with the flour and the sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I get to really get aware of. In that moment, I get to go, I don't want to feel my feelings right now. You know, I want to numb myself out. And I'd much rather have a cup of coffee and get a lot of stuff done today than feel all of these feelings. And that's my agreement between me and me. And there's days that I do that. And then there's days that I go, no, I'm really committed to healing what's happening inside of my body. I follow manifesting philosophy. I follow only what makes me feel good. It has been a good shift for me beating myself up for 45 years. Absolutely, Reagan. Hell yes, I want to go eat a brownie right now. You know, there are vegan brownies. So having and acting out of integrity helps your clients get their results. What? No. Having integrity and acting like in integrity. I see what you're saying. I read it as being out of integrity. So yes, operating out of your integrity, yes, that absolutely is how my clients get their results. in so many ways, in relationships, in business, in creating money and finance, with their parenting. It's crazy. It's all over the place. You know, when you have a very firm sense of who you are and that you love yourself, and you make that the priority, everything else falls into place. It's almost mind-boggling. Okay, I am going to give you some examples, and then we're going to wrap it up. Oh man, it's been a long one. I knew it would be a long one today. Are you guys want a couple more examples? Are you guys good, or you want me to wrap it up? I got some people with me, so let's keep going. All right, so I did 2 relationships back to back where I was super controlling and I didn't trust my partner, and I got to learn the pattern first and then experience it and then be aware of it and then do something different, which feels extremely uncomfortable, right? So first you learn the pattern, then you experience it. Then you become aware that you're experiencing it. Then you do something different, and it's really uncomfortable. And then one day you learn to do something new. For me, it was surrender control. Oh, my nose is itchy today. My issue is, I'm waiting, Michelle. Yes, more examples, more examples. Okay, good. So for me, it was to surrender control and surrender attachments. Why is my nose so itchy? Is there allergies today? I mean, are there allergens? So anyway, so now, because this is just the way that it works, and like I was saying earlier in the video today, I was telling you guys, you're going to find your mother or your father or your grandfather, whoever your primary caretaker was. I promise you're going to find them. As hard as you try not to find them, even if you're looking to not find them, you're going to find them. That's just what happens. And so now here I am in a relationship with the same guy that I was in a relationship with the last. I mean, it's the same guy. He has a new name. He has a new face. And there are a couple of things that are new, but for the most part, it's the same guy, and it will be the same guy again and again, and that's just how it goes. But I have finally moved into my true self. Mostly, I would say like 98%. There's always room to grow, right? There's always room for more expansion. I'm going to get to that in just a second, Michelle. So instead of being this, okay, so this is definitely true. I've moved into this. So instead of being controlled and protected all of the time and operating out of, you don't know what you're doing, and I know what's best for you and for me and the whole entire world, and I'm going to tell you what to do and how to do it. I had the beautiful opportunity of experiencing that in my last relationship, and I will never do that again because that is not fun. So I've learned how to operate out of my true self, and I've learned how to say, you know what? I feel really good about what I'm doing right now, no matter what you say or what you think or what's going on over there on that side of the table. One of my favorite expressions is, what you think about me is none of my business. And when you can really start owning what you think about me is none of my business, your life will change in a very, very big way. Now, does that mean that I don't give a shit about, I don't care about you? No, absolutely. I care very, very much about you, especially if you're my intimate partner. I care probably more than anyone else in the world about you. But I don't care what you're thinking because that makes me a codependent. I get to say, hey, babe, what are you thinking? I'm making up that you're thinking that you don't love me anymore because I'm eating brownies and I'm not eating plant-based whole food lifestyle or whatever. So I get to ask that, and I get to be in the question of that, and I get to hear what he has to say and not make it up. I get to actually hear it. So that's what makes the relationship work really good, right? So I still have moments of being controlling. And what's awesome about that is because I've been practicing that, like I told you guys, I'm letting the kids scare me, right? I'm practicing being in the uncomfortable feelings so that when he does have feedback and he says, babe, I got feedback for you, I can be like, okay, what's the feedback? And I can actually take it in and I can be curious about it. I'd be like, is that true about me? Does that fit for me? Instead of just being like, okay, you're the man, whatever you say goes, and now I have to conform myself and be someone new now, right? Which, we've all done. All right, so I got 2 more examples. And Michelle says, for example, I'll say, I will make brownies because I really want them. I have every intention and meaning to make them, and then it doesn't happen, and I get so upset with myself because it's not what I wanted. Oh, not making the brownies is not what you wanted. I got it. Dagmar says, I've had this with friends too. Yes, this definitely happens in friendships too. Michelle says, or even though I'm passive, the controller gets pissed off because it wasn't my standard. I need you to say more about that because it sounds like you're being the controller in that situation. I get that you're being passive. I get that. And usually the controller gets pissed because it wasn't their standard, usually. Oh, you're saying, you say, oh, babe, I don't want to eat brownies, and then you eat brownies and the controller gets pissed. Yes, yes, that's what you're saying, right? Is that what you're saying? Give me some yeses. Yes? I get it. I get it. Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. You get to that's the controller's problem. That is not your problem. That's not your problem. Your problem is that you want brownies when you said you don't want brownies. That is your problem. And if we're going to talk about authoring what comes out of other people's mouths, I authored it. Okay. So this is true. So what you say about me is none of my business, but I am literally writing the script, and you are saying, this is kind of another level here, but I'm literally writing the script and you are saying out of your mouth what I want you to say to me. That's a whole other level of responsibility, and I don't get into that on this page all the time. I do that more in the Heather Hundhausen page when we start talking about quantum physics and really, really creating your reality. And I will move into that with my coaching clients when it becomes more advanced, which is why Michelle's asking, because she is a coaching client. But if I'm, so here's an example. I was struggling with my business, and my dad kept asking these probing questions that were really uncomfortable because I didn't have the right answers. And the more and more he asked, the more and more I thought he was an asshole. Yet, oh, I just cursed again, I'm sorry. Yet I'm actually the one who was uncomfortable with what I was doing in my business. Is that making sense? Like, he would never have even asked the questions if I was like, I'm comfortable. I have no problem with this at all. I'm doing exactly what feels right to me, and I feel really, really good about it. He can't ask me questions about it if I feel really, really good about it, right? Like, even if I'm doing something that some people would think is inappropriate, if I think it's appropriate, and I think it's like, I go to the nude beach, okay? There's an example. I go to the nude beach. Now, if you have judgments about me going to the nude beach, I could care less because I love it. It's one of the most pleasurable and fun things that I do, and nobody is taking that away from me. I know you can say everything you want all day long until Sunday about how terrible and awful going to the nude beach is, and I will never care what you think, because I am so sure about how I feel about when I go there. Like Reagan's saying, follow the fun. That is the biggest, funnest fun that I love being naked and getting in the ocean naked, and I love feeling the wind on my skin, and I love when the sun starts to go down and you start to get cold, and then you have to like choose if you want a blanket or clothes. I love all of that, and you can't take it away from me, right? Like, there's no way you're gonna take that away from me. I don't care how much judgment you have about it. But if I'm dating a transgender person and you have an issue with that, and I have like a little tiny issue, like maybe I'm 80% okay with it, but I still have 20% of it I haven't dealt with, and you start probing, well, why are you doing this? Well, this is not socially appropriate, which is what my dad did for like 3 years. It was like, right? It felt like he was being controlling, but I'm the one having the issue, okay? Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, Reagan says, I need to really understand and feel that whatever you think about me is your business, not mine. Yes, I need to not give a crap what the controller thinks. I want to get to this place in your life. Yes, good, good. And Michelle says, what I mean is my integrity. I get upset because you guys keep doing this to me. I'm on a cliffhanger here. Reagan says, haha, Miami Beach topless, good times. It's been a while for me. Oh man, I'm gonna be at the topless beach until I'm 107 years old because I love it. I don't care how droopy or saggy or fat or cellulite or whatever I am going to the nude beach. All right, 2 examples. One of control and one of passive aggressive people pleasing. Both me. You guys ready? This is the longest video ever. 2 more examples and then we're gonna wrap it up. So, My ex-husband, we call him the coyote, and Native, because a lot of his family is Native American, and Native American Indian, the coyote of the tribe is the person who's allowed to come up to you and like poke you in the eye, not literally in the eye with a poke, but like poke you right where it hurts and make fun of you. And everybody else in the tribe laughs, but you don't laugh because it actually hurts. Okay. We call him the coyote. Like literally, this is his job on earth. God made him to be the coyote. Valerie, I'm going to get to that in just a minute. So he loves to poke where it hurts. It's his God-given talent. Okay. He's not much of a controller, but he does love to poke. And it makes my controller come out in a big way because he pokes me right. He like lets me see just what a controller I am every single time. So here's an example. Oh, and if you punch the coyote in the Native American tribe, you will literally get kicked out of the tribe. So here's the example of me being a super controller. So the other day he came over and I had fed the kids breakfast and he was coming to pick them up and I'm like, hey, I have leftovers. If you want some, you can have some. He goes, do you have any cheese I can put on this? So I give him a bag of shredded cheese and he leaves me like a tablespoon of shredded cheese in the bottom of the bag. And I'm like, so everything happens and they're walking out the door and I look at the cheese and I'm like, why did you just leave? And I get all mad and I'm like, why did you just leave this like tablespoon of cheese? You couldn't just put this on your eggs, you had to leave it. And he gets this look on his face like, and I realize in that moment, like he's done it on purpose. He just wanted to see me freak out about the 1 tablespoon of cheese that he left in the bag. And I was like, you know, when am I gonna learn to just let this kind of stuff go? You know, it's great because it pointed out to me that I am still doing this ridiculous behavior and he loves to point that out. So that's my example of what it is to be controlling, right? Like even I have to tell you what to do with the one, like, why did you do this with 1 tablespoon of cheese? Like, whatever, who cares about that? Okay, before I get the second example, I'm gonna read these questions. Valerie, I still struggle to make sense of this. To me, staying away from brownies is no fun. If I follow the fun, I'd only eat brownies when my healthy self wishes to stay away from brownies. Eating healthy is not following the fun for me. Sorry, I'm stuck way back there. Wow, that's tough to be married to the coyote. It was tough to be married to the coyote. Yes, Valerie, that's a big conversation, Valerie. Are you still with me? If you're still with me, give me some thumbs up because I want to make sure you're listening. This is a big conversation and we can get into it. So what's happening is the controller, I will not hang out with the coyote, Reagan. Reagan, that's not how you do it. You can't just get rid of the coyote. That's so funny. Okay, so Valerie, back to the brownies and the eating healthy is no fun. Okay, if eating healthy is no fun, why are you doing it? Like, really, why are you doing it? Yeah, it's funny, right? You wish you could not hang out with the coyote, right? We all wish we could get rid of the person who's poking us, but we'll author them again. You know, we have issues. We want to resolve the issues. We came here to resolve them, and we're going to find somebody in our hologram and going to go poke and get to us. So, yeah, right? Ha, ha, ha. So, Valerie, you get to ask yourself, why do you want to eat healthy if it's not fun? Because I want to be healthy, not to have disease over the weight, etc. Okay, so you get to get aligned in your own self about what you really want and why you want it. Because right now it sounds like I have to be healthy because I have to do this because it's the right thing to do and somebody told me to do it. It doesn't sound like there's ownership of eating healthy. Like, I really, truly, truly want to eat healthy because I know when I do, it feels really freaking good. And I also know that I want a brownie because that feels really good. So then we get to look at the prices and the payoffs. And I get to decide, which price and which payoff is bigger? You know, a temporary little brownie is delicious. Yes, if I ate them all day long, I would get ginormously humongous and very sick. And I can't rollerblade and have a good time and play with my kids. And that's way more valuable for me. So I don't know what's the way more valuable thing for you, but that's what like following the fun sometimes means. It doesn't always mean doing the right thing. It means doing what's right. So it doesn't always, I don't know. I think that there's a way of like enrolling yourself or finding, like, I think there's a clearing process that happens too. You get to clear out everybody else's voices and all the other junk. And that's what I do with the inner child work. Like, we're literally clearing out all of the voices and all of that junk that's keeping you from saying, I really want to be healthy and this is really, really what I want. And I want to own it because it feels so good when I'm healthy, and feeling good feels really fun. Is that making sense to you guys? Let's see if I got comments here. Oh, I authored one I can't get rid of. Yes, Michelle, you did. Reagan says, I'm going right now to McDonald's. I'm in the drive-thru getting cookies. Reagan. Reagan, you're so funny. I love you, Reagan. So for Reagan right now, the joy of cookies is much, much higher than the joy of health. And that's a choice that she's making. Okay, so here's the example of passive aggressiveness and people pleasing. So I think I may have already kind of got into this, but we're going to do it again. So no, it's a little bit different. So I want to make Mike, I want to make Mike happy. So I kept saying yes to him. And I would be like, to spending time with him, because spending time is my love language, and spending time is his love language. And touching and touch both. So physical touch and quality time. So you guys can imagine what we do. So it also makes me happy, right? So this is like also follow the fun. But I wasn't taking care of myself, and I was letting all of this other stuff slide. And I wasn't, so this is almost like, you know, I'm picking the brownies when I know that I need to eat healthy, right? I was picking like lots and lots of brownies, and the healthy was like going out the window. And I was going, I'm so mad you're making me eat all these brownies. But like, I was the one choosing the brownies and wanting the brownies and eating the brownies. And it's like one day you wake up and you realize you're really fat because you've been eating brownies all day long every day for months. And then you go, oh shit, I get to stop eating brownies every day and I get to start doing what I need to do instead. That totally happened to me. And so, right, so I got really mad at him. But really, I wasn't mad at him, right? But that's what we do. We get like mad at ourselves and we throw it on someone else. And that's what passive aggressiveness is. It's, I'm really mad at myself, but I don't want to deal with how mad I am at myself, so I'm going to put it on you. Or I'm going to sneak around because I don't want to hear about what you have to say about it. Like Reagan saying, I'm going to avoid the coyote, right? That's because you don't want to deal with the fact that you're out of integrity. You're not being your 100% full, authentic, beautiful, radiant self. When I spend too much time cocooning myself away with Mike, which I really love to do, I'm not here to serve you guys. I'm not here to serve the world. And that's also my purpose. Like, this is really, really important to me, which is why I do it every morning. And so I had to figure out, like, luckily I know about boundaries and inner child work and all that stuff, and I was able to say, okay, what do I really, really want, truly deep down? What is the most important thing to me, and how do I make this balance happen? And so I got to have boundaries, and I got to say super lovingly, like, you know, a lot of times I think what happens in relationships is we go like, well, you're making me eat brownies every day, or, well, you're making me stay home and not go to work, or whatever. And thank God I didn't do that, because that doesn't actually help anybody. And I communicated in a loving way that I needed space to work, and I needed to clean, and I needed to take care of my children, and all these other commitments that I was ignoring because I wanted to spend time with them. And I did find myself shutting down in order to like figure that out. And that did freak him out a little, and the controller in him came out because I shut down. And so there's still, like, I mean, it's always a graduating level, right? You're always learning more and learning more. So I was able to, luckily I was able to communicate with him what was going on. I was able to communicate that I was shutting down. I was able to communicate that I needed to cocoon myself and that I was really sorry that it was hurting him. And so we stayed in conversation the whole time. Is that all making sense also? That's what I get into at work. Self-care, balance, pushing through with coyotes. Yeah. I don't know what to get. Oh, that's my issue. It's like I can't win, an I can't win feeling. Right, and the I can't win feeling is inside of yourself, right? It's like a choice and a commitment and saying, this is it. I am fed up with eating brownies every day. I am fed up with the fact that, like, sometimes the price needs to be bigger in order for us to really get it. It's like they call it hitting your rock bottom, which sometimes that has to happen. Sometimes you gain a little weight, and you look in the mirror, you gain a little weight, you look in the mirror, and you're sucking it in, and you're like, I'm still fine. And then one day you don't fit in any of your pants, and you're like, shh, I'm fat. How did this happen? How did this happen? Right? But you know how it happened because you were the one eating all the brownies. So if I hadn't opened up and explained all of that to Mike the way that I did, I would have absolutely made his controller come out. Like, I know that that's what would have happened. And I know that when he shuts down, my controller wants to come out. I want to be like, what are you doing? Come back to me. And I've learned about releasing attachments and loving you no matter where you are. So that's kind of both sides of the coin, is communicating clearly with, if you're the withholder, you get to communicate clearly what the heck is going on for you, which is like the last thing you want to do when you're all bottled up like that. And if you're the controller, you have to let go, and you have to surrender, and you have to detach, and you can still love the person very, very hard, which is what Mike ended up doing was, and I asked him for it, I'm like, I need you to like let go and just love me. Like, let go of the fact that I'm shut down right now and just keep loving me. And he was like, okay. And he loved me until I opened up. It was like the most beautiful thing. And that's how it works, right? And that's what vulnerability is, because when I can open up and my partner's going, hey babe, what's going on? And loving me, and they do this because they love us, and I accept it because I know that he's loving me, not because he's trying to control me, and I know that he's not trying to hurt me, and I allow myself to be vulnerable enough in that moment to be exposed to the pain that I think is going to happen with this controller, and instead I take a breath and go, oh God, here it comes. He's going to say something that hurts, and I'm going to just let it hurt. And then he just says something and it doesn't hurt. I mean, it hurts a little because, yeah, I'm out of integrity. And then it's like, okay, yeah, I know that you love me and you're trying to provide for me and you're trying to take care of me. And when I keep that mentality, which we've talked about, like, I don't even know how many times, then you know that if you go in with the intention of, I might possibly get hurt here, and you go in open like that, really the only thing that can happen is love. All right, so that's everything. That's all the stuff that I got today. So you guys want some homework? You want me to recap the pointers here? Do you have any questions? We went through a lot. I love that you guys asked me so many questions because I can really get into detail and examples and all of that. So homework, recap, what do you guys need? What do you guys want? I'll give it to you, whatever you want. Recap, all right. So controllers control because withholders are withholding. Withholders withhold because controllers are controlling. So when you find yourself wanting to control, or you find yourself wanting to withhold, you get to look at what you're doing, because it has nothing to do with them. It's your reaction. And you get to stop your reaction. You get to take responsibility for your own behavior. You get to get in integrity with yourself. You get to ask yourself, where am I out of alignment with what I say, what I feel, what I do, what I think? Surrender your control if you're being controlling. Surrender your attachment if you're being controlling. Stop people pleasing if you're being passive aggressive. Say what you need. Have some boundaries. Be vulnerable. Open up. Be willing to talk about what's going on. Be willing to share. Be willing to say, I'm shut down and I'm not okay, and I need you to leave me alone for 24 or 48 or whatever it is hours. I love you and I can't do this right now, if that's what you need, okay? Or whatever it is that your boundaries are. You get to have boundaries. Okay, so quickly before we get into homework, if you loved this today and you thought it was super, super juicy and beneficial, which I think this information for me was world-changing, life-changing information, share it. Share the stuff, because, you know, we want people to have this information. So you can share it directly from the Beautifully Authentic YouTube channel, or you can share that from the YouTube channel and then invite them into the Beautifully Authentic Facebook group so they can actually be part of the comments and the questions and sharing, and I can work with you, you know, right here live. All right, so homework is, are you the passive aggressive one or are you the controller? That's the first part of the homework. You get to figure that out. I know, like Dagmar said, she's been both. I know that I've been both. And you get to ask yourself, like in every relationship, how am I showing up? Am I showing up passive aggressive and people pleasing? Or am I showing up aggressive and controlling and going, want to fight? Want to fight? Because I'm having fun fighting with you, right? Yeah, you feel both too. Yeah, a lot of times we feel both. So you get to get clear on that. And then, where is my homework? If you're the controller, you get to practice letting go and surrendering. Detach with love. So simple to say, so challenging and new to do. Detach, 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 detach. What they're doing is none of your business. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. And you can keep loving them. It's so confusing for the controller. It's like, how can I love them and not tell them what to do? But don't do that. That's not love. That's control, okay? And if you are, okay, also the controller, no negative thinking. Actually, both of you, no negative thinking about the other person. So if someone's being controlling, no, they're not. Like, they have issues. Don't think negatively about them, okay? And if, what's the other way? If they're shutting down, don't be like, oh my God, there he goes again. He's shutting down. He won't listen to anything I say. I can't get any attention. I'm abandoned, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, cut that stuff out. That's not helping you. Okay, so no negative thinking. And if you're the controller, you get to let go and surrender, detach with love. Okay, if you're the passive aggressive withholder, you get to say what you need. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. Say what you need. Hold your boundaries. If you don't know what the heck boundaries are, go to my website, Beautifully Authentic, and click on the training that says, I need the training on boundaries, and put your email in and get the training. It's important. Okay, so don't give up on yourself if you're being passive aggressive. Don't lose yourself for your mate. You're worth getting what you want, okay? Stop the passive aggressive stuff. He doesn't like it anyway. It's yucky. It's yucky, yucky, and he doesn't like it when you do it. You don't like it when he does it. Don't do it. It's yucky. Ask for what you need. Be clear. Be loving. Even if it's like, hey, I need a timeout for 48 hours. I need to go spend the night in a hotel because I need to get my head clear. Okay, cool. Go do that. It's perfectly acceptable to do that. You just need to tell. You can't just be like, I'm out of here. You know, that's not cool. Okay. So, of course, if you want more information on how to do this right now, you can come and work with me one-on-one. I am here to teach people this stuff one-on-one. If you've worked with me one-on-one, you know it's very, very, very different than just listening to me go blah, blah, blah and try to answer your questions like this. It's challenging. Like the question that Valerie asked today is super valid. I want to work with her so badly right now on inner child work so that she can get those other voices out of her head so she can hear her true, authentic, clear inner voice. And she can decide to make the choices that she wants to make for herself, right? And that's the work that happens one-on-one. So if you're ready for that, reach out to me. I want to do that work with you. I am available. I am not available the week of Thanksgiving. Probably shouldn't say that in this video because, hi, it's Thanksgiving time. Happy fall. Cat's out of the bag. Anyway, so yes, so it's going to get a little bit more booked up coming up here soon. So like jump on it quick. If you want to do some of this work, let's make it happen. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank yourself for learning this information because it is truly life-changing information. And when you start applying it, you're going to see huge changes in your life. And as you're making those huge changes in your life, please share that I'm the one that you learned it from, so that other people can learn it from me. And if they want to watch the videos, let's invite them into the Facebook group or share the Beautifully Authentic YouTube channel. Or you can just directly send my phone number to them or send me their phone number so I can have a conversation with them, get to know them a little bit and see how I can serve them. So I love you guys. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you helping me to spread the word. I appreciate you helping me to create peace on the planet and in your own lives. And I do love you dearly, and I will see you soon. I'm going to go on a little hiatus here, so don't be don't be too sad if we miss a couple of days because I'm doing a workshop. So I love you guys. I'll be back soon.